Thank you so much for finding time and stopping by. And today I want to remind us the importance of learning and self-improvement, a process that is never supposed to stop, and a process that we should not put a cap as far as the expiry date is concerned. It has no expiry date, and it is something that should not really should not stop the way the world is moving and how things are and the way things are shaping to be. I think it places a demand on us as individuals to commit to the process of becoming better at who we are and living in the best version of ourselves, so that we're able to meet with the demands that things have placed on us, or if at all we want to move ahead and realize some of the goals and ambitions that perhaps we've set for ourselves. Learning is something that does not stop, and I'm learning now. Because I'm committed. That is a commitment that I make, or that I have made. And every day I wake up, I look for opportunities as I go on about my day. I look up for opportunities where I can find something to learn, something new, something I did not know yesterday, a word or something, information I might not have known, so just working on improving on my knowledge capacity and my brain power, I think is really, really important. And not just because I'm a journalist and perhaps knowing and gathering information is just part of what I do, but sometimes I go to areas and things that does not necessarily have to do with what I do in my everyday work or life, but I just want to know just for the sake of, and so I tend to engage with people from different careers because I'm usually very curious to learn and know and see, can I learn some new information or improve my knowledge in a certain area, even if I may not need that information anywhere in my life, but the fact that I've learned something new, for me it's very, very critical and very important. So that is the commitment that I've made. Outside of that, I do read a lot. I watch documentaries and other materials that really are geared towards improving on myself. I also, the boring stuff, as perhaps most people would consider them, but I also do take my time and watch other things that really are not informational or educational or whatever. There has to be a balance in life, but I'm just saying that we can't be the same people we were maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That way life will pass you by for you to really, really get to where you need to go and to work on the goals and the dreams that you've set for yourself and you hope that you will achieve. Then learning is part of that process and must be part of that process. You cannot live in a world where you wake up every morning and just hope that things will happen. As we hope and pray that for certain things to happen, and we live with an attitude of expectation, we should also be keen on working on ourselves and seeing, are we able to play our part? Are we able to do what is required of us? Are we able to improve on ourselves, so that when that opportunity shows up, we will be ready for it? And because learning also just enriches your perspective about things. There's nothing as dangerous as a person who's narrow-minded. I've been around certain people who are very limited as far as their understanding on certain things is concerned in general, and it can be the most frustrating thing ever when you have just somebody who is just committed to nothing. They think they know. They think they know, and that's it. And what I'm learning on my part is, the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. The more I realize there's so much that I still need to know. So I can never arrive to a space where I feel I have known enough, so that's it. No, for me, the more I discover, the more I research, the more I dig into finding information and just learning and equipping myself with information, the more I discover that I don't know a lot. And so now, learning for me has become something that I do. It's just part of my life because I really, really want to improve on myself, and I really want to live through the better version of myself. And that for me can only be realized if I am equipped with certain information. And I think when you know then you become a person who's well informed, and also on top of that, it helps you when you need to engage in critical thinking, which I hope is something that we do every day. I mean, critical thinking is very, very important, but you cannot engage in critical thinking if you have a limited amount of information or knowledge. That becomes very difficult. The only way you can engage in critical thinking and knowledge-based deduction of information is when you have that information to start with. So you have to make sure that your brain is improved, your capacity is improved, and this can only be improved by the things that you feed it. If that is depending on where you want to get with your life, but if you're okay with whatever information that you have and whatever path that you've taken for your life, that is also fine. Nobody is judging, but I'm speaking for those who are committed, and those who have goals, and those who are working towards achieving certain things in their lives, and those who feel like there's something more out there for them. Well, there is. That is the good news. But the other side of that good news is you must work towards it, and part of working towards achieving that is working on yourself. And I think for me, that is something that I commit to. Otherwise, I will be self-sabotaging, and I think a lot of people do that because if you are very limited in how you think and how your perspective about things, you'll find that you're supposed to be in certain rooms, but you can't go in there because you feel you don't fit in there fully because of the disadvantage on your part that you really don't know. So in this day and age where information is accessible and opportunities and platforms for us to learn and improve on ourselves are available, I think there's no excuse. You can always get them very cheaply and freely a lot of times, and so there's no excuse as to why we have to be the same people, as why we cannot improve on ourselves, as why we cannot move forward and be better versions of ourselves. I think that will be unfair even to God who created you, and that will be unfair even to your own self, because you will not be giving yourself the opportunity to see what else yourself can do, if at all you took the chance and you worked on improving on yourself. That could mean going back to school, that could mean just going on and sharpening your skills, that could mean anything. Whatever it is that you're seeking to improve in your life, I do realize that school is not for everybody, okay? It's not for everybody, but there are areas, so perhaps where you've reached with your life, you're okay with that. But there are areas also that you feel that you need to work upon, and you need to improve upon, so that you're able to live in the best version of yourself. So the good news is my attitude is there's always room for improvement for me. And that is the good news. And if that is your attitude, then nothing is impossible. Nothing is really impossible, and you can achieve, and you can work on being better, and you can be the best version of yourself if you just committed towards just learning and just knowing. It's important, and self improvement is something that cannot stop. That has to be a commitment that you make every morning you wake up, to do better and to learn a new thing every day. And in the long run, it is these small things that will add up. And before you know it, you realize, oh, my thought process is quite different. Oh, how my perspective on things has changed. And that is because the small changes that you've made in terms of committing yourself to improving, they do add up. And before you know it, you've become a totally different person, and your perspective become more enriched, and you become a person who can really critically think, and you can use your brain to save yourself. Okay, thank you so much. So let's commit to working on ourselves.